this too. Hopefully. What's going on, everybody? Today, working on a customer's car here. We got a 2012 Fiat that clutch is completely bad on it. So all that we've done so far is get this thing up on jack stands and take the tires off on the front. We're trying to taper down the socket for the hub already. 35 millimeter, but you got to taper it down because Fiat. For the hubs, pull the axles out because that's one of the first things we want to do. And also you can take your entire battery out. So you do those two things to start it off, and then we'll get to the next part. As you can see, we got the battery and battery tray out. I took off the two connectors for the computer here. It was just pull tabs and flip up levers. I also had to take off the ground wire for the negative right here. Oh, you're good. Took off that nut right there, 10 mil. And 3 13s here. You had 2 bolts, 1, 2, and a 13 nut down the middle. As you can see right there, that's your 13 stud. And that's where your 13 2 bolts go. Once you take that off, you got the entire battery tray out your way with the computer, which you can go set down with all your other parts you're going to have. One thing to mention, we did already take off the little plastic cover on the bottom, 6 10 millimeter bolts, just set them back on there. We're still trying to work on the 25, tapering it down so it fits the half shafts. Meanwhile, I'm just going to start with some stuff in here. This is a transmission mount here, which you're going to want to crack the bolts. Don't take them off because we still have to support the vehicle. This is your shift linkage right here. So we're going to take that off. There should be, yeah, this whole bracket here that you can or can't see. I don't know, sorry. That right in here. Either way, the bracket underneath the transmission mount, that whole bracket mounts the transmission. You're going to take that one off as well. Let's get under the car so show you some things under here. So all your bolts on the outlining of the transmission are the ones you're going to want to remove once you get all the stuff off that you have to. He does have a leak. Don't know what that is, but we will definitely take a look at that. You're going to have to take out your starter. That's what I'll work on, starter. Oh, yeah. Maybe his, master, could have been his clutch. All this is clutch fluid. Let me take a look. That's brake. Where's this master? Oh, it just smells like bad clutch in here, everybody. So, I'm gonna take off the starter, which is, where's it at? Should be under the front in here. So I think I'm gonna take this heat shield off for you guys because I believe it's under the exhaust in that area. And I'll get back to you guys. I want to figure that out. You also have to take out this bar here, which I'm in the process of doing. I already taken out 2 bolts, which is 19 mil. Taking out those 2. These 2 are right over here. Then you're also going to have to take out this whole bar here. We're not getting to that yet. So we're also going to be installing a set of coilovers he has in his garage. So took out the 2 bolts. And they are, what size were those again? They're like 17?
Yes.
17 for these, and then I think 16 for the sway bar link. And that gets that out of the way. And you're going to also want to take out your ABS sensor. Get that out the way. I guess we're going to drop this strut real quick while we're in here. We did get the nut off. That's what I want to update you guys on. So your 35 kind of fits. We made it fit with the hammer. You see it just shaved off a little bit of metal. No harm to the nut really. We can still reuse it. But 35, taper it a little bit, hammer it on, and as long as those tabs are out the way, you'll get it off. And then you're going to take some push pins out here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You take those out. You'll have access in here to drop your strut, which we already have done. which is this little plate they have, and the nut's 19. Take that out, your whole strut comes out. So that's how simple it is to remove y'all's struts. And these are the coilovers we will be installing as well. So very nice, very nice. Those will be installed after the transmission, I think. So we're just dropping the struts. Keep you tuned in. I think we're gonna find the starter next. Drop the bumper up in the front. We're getting places. All right, we're about to remove the fender. We're about to remove the fascia. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 T30s up top. On the bottom side, you had 1, 2, 3. There's a Phillips there holding the inner fender out. You had to take apart the inner fender to get to the last one up top, where he's taking it out right there. Take apart your fog light connector, fog light, headlight. There's a little bulb over there, and your horn. This one still has to come out, but that's like easy. He had a cold air intake installed on this thing, so we took that off. That's out of the way now. We're about ready to take off this whole fender. It's just clipped in up here, which we'll pry out. This is a push-in fitting type here. So once we do that, the whole fender will come off. So as you can see, we got the bracket off here. It was 413s, not the ones that are held on the far side. Those are welded. The ones on the inside, that's why you gotta take the fascia off. We also took off this 13 here that holds the exhaust. We're trying to get the hanger off so that we can get to the lower transmission mount bracket. Once that's out of the way, we're gonna hopefully lower this thing down and get the starter at the back. After the starter, I think we're gonna pop out both half shafts and leak some fluid out for doing upper trans mount and then all the bell housing bolts. We're getting there. We're almost there.
Got a little tiny one with 13.
I'm trying to remember the actual big one.
The big one was
17?
Yeah.
17, 18. Yep, so we took off the lower transmission bracket there. 18 and a 14 for the Torx in the back. And then we took off the 13mm exhaust to get the bottom one off. We also took off the top transmission bracket, and we're holding up the transmission right now. We're going to take off that bolt there for shift linkage. We're going to disconnect some connectors for the slave cylinder. And try to lower this to lower it a little bit to take out the starter at the back because it's in a awkward spot. We got one of the 3 bolts out, but yeah. So, and there's also that ground wire you can see underneath the slave cylinder, which is a 13 as well. We gotta take that off. See the one I'm talking about? Alright, so we got the slave cylinder out the way. It's just a ball joint, but I popped off the bolts and the ball joint decided to pop out. We're in the process of taking the starter out, and one of the bolts is right there at the tip. You can barely see it in there. I'll get it rolled down. But it's right there. We already removed one on the back side from the back. That should be the only other one. So I'm going to take that out and have someone hold the bottom. Hopefully that's everything. If not, we'll let you know where the 3rd bolt's at. That's what I was telling you about. We might need to press that back in just a little bit. Alright, we got the half shaft out. We had to rent this tool from AutoZone, 27305. Tapped it in, popped right on out, and now that those are out of our way, we're going to try to take the starter out, which we already took out the 2 bolts that we showed you. It's just the terminal ground. Sorry. I don't even know where this bolt went. You know where that one went to? That was over here. Yeah, oh well, that's part of the job. Well, no, don't take it out.
No, I'm trying to so I can squeeze it short. It won't.
Do it right here and here. Compress. Like open them up wide and squeeze on top. Or we leave it. Well, let's just leave it for now. See the other one? See if it looks like this?
Yeah.
Because it might be supposed to be like that. That's why it locked in so well. But yeah, we're going to pop the starter off. The terminal's on the starter. I think it's a little caught on the flywheel. Besides that, we're almost there. So we'll give you guys an update after this. I think we're going to be taking off bell housing bolts next. Let me go to this one. Alright, so we got the starter out. Half shafts are both out. We're now removing bell housing bolts. You got one in this top right, and one right over here, right by the starter bolt you removed. Those are both 19s, which we're positioning them in a piece of cardboard. These are the two bottom ones we removed. Then we have this one on the left. These two are like right here and here. I think there's some gonna be on the right side. We're gonna find out right now. So we shouldn't have to remove that bracket, but those are the two right there for the bottom. One on the side. And now I'm gonna have to get, of course, in the way of everything else. Over there. Back here, probably. Yep, we got, actually, we shouldn't have to with that one bolt. We might be free, I don't know. No, I don't think so. We might have one more. I'll let you guys know where it's at when we drop the transmission. Alright, as you can see, we got the transmission out, and the throwout bearing threw itself away. We might need a new clutch for it, because it's kind of ate up, as you can see. So we're seeing if that's in stock. Hopefully. Because if not, I wouldn't recommend putting this thing back together, because you see it's just throwing metal around in there, which, doesn't matter about in there, but that throwout bearing, no more. And this just goes in like, it's not coming up. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to take it to them. Now's a good time for food. Alright, well, we'll be back to see if we get a new part, guys. Well, we were not able to find this part, except from Italy, and that takes like 3 weeks to get here, so we cleaned it up as best as we could, filed it down a little bit, and we're calling it good. So we got the clutches already installed under there. We got the 6 bolts torqued to 10 foot-pounds, little baby 10 foot-pounds, and we put some Loctite on all of them, 271 Loctite, and I believe the throwout bearing goes on same time as this thing, right? Yeah, it's like one piece. So we are about to install the piece that failed in this thing. Give me a second, let me set this up. Alright, let's see if I can do this. So plugs in like this, just like that. Throwout bearing is in, and see if I can't remember how I took this thing out. Take out the bushing. The throwout bearing's got to go on first. And this fits in. Like that. Yep, it's working like it should. In and out. Then all you gotta do is put the little clutch fork at the end. This thing, we marked it. You see that little scratch mark there? Goes splined on with that one right there. Then your snap ring. That thing works good. Looks good, y'all. And now we're gonna fill this thing. Well, no, we're not. We're gonna crack the drain plug on it so it's not so tight, which is that one right there. Crack it, install the transmission, drain it completely, put the axles in, fill it, and then start working with everything else. I think I'm gonna clean this thing off a little bit real quick. Alright, everybody, as you can see, it's now dark out, but we got mostly everything in. Fascia's back in, half shafts are in, transmission's in, all the bell housing bolts are in, and the clutch was a bitch to get done, but we figured it out. It was because the alignment tool wasn't long enough. We grinded it down so it fit all the way into the flywheel. That's in, and now we're bleeding the clutch. So you take the clip out right here, sorry, right there, pull this thing out a little bit, and this is your air vent, and he's going to squeeze the clutch. You can go ahead. Oh, whoa. Tell you what, go for it now. Oh. Stop there. So you don't need that clip open. That was wrong. That was in someone else's video. Does it feel any stiffer? It's good. That's the easiest clutch bleeding I've ever done. All you gotta do is open this vent, twist it 2 times, press it until fluid comes out, and that's it. You're just bleeding all the air out of the system, which we just did. Now I think we're gonna install some coilovers, because we already put new iridium plugs in this thing. Let's see what else we have to install. Battery. Wheels. Yeah, it's coilover time. So we're gonna get some new coilovers on, which will be a first for me. Actually installing coilovers, but they don't look too complicated to do. Now let's do it like that. Power wrap's gonna get cut off. Alright, I'll update you guys once I get these things somewhat assembled. It's that time, everybody. First, oh wait. Come look at how freaking the suspension is. Oh yeah. Now, we got just that. That is
Definitely not right.
no. It's gotta be higher up. So it's way too low. So we're gonna have to lift one side up, take the wheel off, and you're gonna have to adjust that. That would have been a rough ride. Yeah, that's because they're all the way low at the bottom. We gotta bring that thing up. You know what I'm saying? Alright, we're back. We had to take off the tops of the old suspension for the coilovers to get them to sit like we wanted, and now we're ready to start. Right now. Turn your headlights on. I want to see how bright they are now. Nice. Were they white before? They're bright. Well, it's good to see that it launched forward. All right, let's kill it, clean up a little bit, because we're gonna need all the space to get this thing out. Everything seems good so far, everybody. Launched like a monster.